Today we are going to introduce about the below topics, and these are the categories of mobile applications and latest tools, the development tools, iOS architecture, and what are the frameworks we have, and what contents we are going to introduce, the simple iPhone application, and how we are different from the others, and what about after the training, okay, what we can do. Okay, so let's see the categories of mobile applications. We basically have three categories. One is native apps, another one is hybrid apps, another one is mobile application, web applications. So native applications are nothing but either it could be either native iOS or Android or BlackBerry or Windows. So native apps basically runs on its own operating system, that is its own platform. So if we create one iOS project, it will be running on only Apple products. It won't be running on any other devices. The main advantage of native apps are the performance, because it runs on own platform, so which gives you the good performance and accuracy. And what are the latest features are available? So all the features we can implement in the native apps. If today Apple releases a new feature in iOS 10, and we can easily implement all the features related to iOS 10 also. Why means we don't have any dependency on other frameworks or libraries. So it's a one platform, so that's why we can use all the frameworks and libraries available as per the current operating system. So whereas in hybrid apps, so hybrid apps are nothing but basically it runs on a web view. So each platform will be having the web view. On that, so we are going to load the scripting language content. Basically, for examples, the phone gap, it's a library. Okay, so this framework basically provides all the available libraries or the classes. By using that, we can access the native application features. So hybrid apps uses scripting languages. Basically, how like websites loads the HTML content, the same way we use a scripting language, and we can use the common scripting language for all the platforms like iOS or Android or BlackBerry. But in hybrid apps, we cannot give the native look, as well as we cannot give the performance as like native apps, and also we won't be seeing the app navigations flow similar to native apps. So I means, so the hybrid apps uses the scripting language where this navigation flow is completely different from the native apps. Okay, everywhere we have to customize. And also if you try to access the native features like camera and the location services as well as some address book like that, so we need to depend on the phone gap libraries. So if the Apple does not provide the permission to the phone gap developers, then automatically so these native features won't be get access in the hybrid apps. And here each time your scripting language will convert into your native and to access the native features, which takes a little fraction of seconds, which basically give you less performance. So that's why in hybrid apps we'll see less performance than your actual native apps, and we cannot give assurance that it compatible for future versions. So that's why there will be many limitations for hybrid apps. Only the main advantage of hybrid apps is the time taken to develop the applications. Okay, we can take little less time than the native apps, okay, in order to develop the hybrid apps. So that's the main advantage, and we can use the hybrid apps for small enterprise applications and small complex applications. For larger data apps as well as complex applications, better we can go for hybrid apps. Okay, so next, mobile web applications. So mobile web applications are these are websites. Basically it's really websites, but it looks like native apps. So that means when we try to access any website through mobile app on browser, basically these web apps will be accessing on browser. Okay, these are not a mobile applications. So when we try to access on a particular device, the content will fit to screen width. So it looks like native. Okay, it looks like native or mobile application, but really these are websites. So the web development team write a compatible code, okay, where a responsive design code they will be writing in the backend, and based on that, so the content will fit into your iPhone screen or iPad screen or desktop screen. So like that it fits. Okay, so this is about the categories of mobile application. So next let's see some statistics of the mobile usage, why the mobile applications are popular. So as we discussed in the session 1, so we can see some statistics. So because if you observe 80 to 85% of the users are using the mobile applications daily, so rather than using the desktop apps. So either it could be the games or the social media or maybe any other utility apps or productivity or enterprise applications. So among this, okay, throughout the world if you compare, so the iOS resource is too high because of number of users are there for iOS platform, that is for Apple users. So why Apple users are more? Because of the Apple devices satisfy the end user requirement. So basically, so what user requires for small business or whatever it may be for different pharmacy industry or to track few things. So the Apple satisfy the end user requirement. So that's why, so there is a huge resource for Apple products because of the it will give good look as well as the performance and it feature updates as well as the OS upgradation compatibility and lot more features. So due to this, so there is big resource for Apple products. Okay, so let's see what are the latest tools we have and the latest operating system. The latest development tool is Xcode 8. Xcode 8 internally supports the iOS 10. So when we install the Xcode 8, the iOS SDK 10 will be get installed automatically, and we will be getting all the simulators which can run on iOS 10, and also we can debug the applications on iPhone devices which are having iOS 10 versions. That means when we use Xcode 8, that means these applications are compatible for iOS 10. Okay, so this is all about tools and the latest operating system. Let's see the iOS architecture. So architecture means basically it is integration of hardware and software. So every embedded system, okay, which commonly includes the hardware and software. Initially iPhone hardware will be manufactured, on that the iPhone operating system will be installed, on that we install the apps. So by default we will be getting the default native apps, as well as we can also download the external apps from the app store and we can install. That means your apps are running on operating system, that is iPhone operating system. The entire iPhone operating system it is categorized into 4 major layers. 4 layers, and these are Cocoa Touch and media services and core services and core OS. From the Mac development and the mobile application development, only the first layer is different, the rest of all layers are remain same. So in Mac app development, so we will have only Cocoa, but here we will have Cocoa Touch. Why means in the mobile devices we will have the touch events. So that's the only change. The same architecture also be there for Mac apps development. Okay, and also the iOS is derived from Mac operating system. Initially the Mac OS is there, so that's a desktop operating system, from that the iOS has been derived. Let's see what are the modules we have in each and every layer. Basically, what is a layer? Layer basically contains a set of predefined libraries or frameworks. What is a framework? It contains a set of predefined classes. By using these classes, we are going to create the design or will implement a particular features. So let's see what frameworks we will have within the Cocoa Touch. One is UI kit and message UI and event kit and lot more. So we have a lot of frameworks where we are going to introduce when we start develop the applications. So what's the use of UI kit? So UI means user interface kit. So whatever we see on the mobile screen, everything should be created by UI kit classes. In UI kit, each and every class will start with UI. So that is user interface. For example, when we see a login page, so we see the text box and buttons. When user tap on the text box, then only keypad comes. That means user must interact with the elements, UI controls. So without user interaction, okay, we cannot get some events on the screens. So that's the name itself put as UI kit. User interface, that means whatever it is visible to the users, everything comes under UI kit classes. Either it is text or labels or buttons or text fields or the camera controls or whatever it may be. So that means without UI kit there won't be any app. Why means, initially if you want to create the app window, we must need UI kit. Basically the app window will be created by UI window, and in order to create empty screens or to create the launch screen or home screen, whatever it may be, we must need UI kit. So that's why the UI kit is mandatory for each and every application. And message UI basically provides the message composers as well as the mail composers, and event kit provides event generating elements, and which basically provides events. And we have a lot more frameworks and in the Cocoa Touch, which basically used to create the lot of UI controls. So in this, another important concept is auto layouts, that is basically adaptive interface. So how do we need to create the design for all the Apple products? So we can create a universal project, okay, where it provides the design for all the devices. It compatible for all the Apple products, that is mobile products, either iPhone or iPad. And in iPhone also we have a lot of models from iPhone 5 to iPhone 7. So how do we need to make compatible design? So we have another important concept called auto layouts. So by using this we can create the adaptive design. So how do we need to create adaptive design? So based on the auto layouts, what does it provides? It basically uses some constraints. So we basically design on constraint based. So constraint basically place a particular element at a particular place. So that means the constraints are basically uses like alignment constraints, or it could be width constraints or height constraints, as well as the size constraints. So basically these constraints will tell, okay, where do the element has to be placed, either it is left constraint or right constraint, or maybe top constraint as well as bottom. And on the view, if you place another view, then on that also we need to maintain again left, right, top and bottom, and what is the size, width and height. So based on this, it works in all the devices and it displays as per the constraints we applied. So simple. So basically these constraints uses either alignment based or size based. Okay, so based on the spaces we added, okay, the elements will be at a particular place, and it works for every screen. So even if you are on any device like iPhone 5 or 6 or 7, so it works in all the devices. If you want to place one UI control element in the center, so yes, we can make it center by just putting in left and right constraint, or else we can give the fixed width and we can place within the center of the screen. Auto layouts are very important, so in recent days, because after introducing the iPhone 6 and 6 plus devices, so because we have to make it compatible design for all the screens, so that's why so we introduced the auto layouts, and with real-time screens, how do we need to use and how to make it compatible design for all the mobile products. Okay, so that's it. So next, so let's see if UI controls, because we have a lot of UI controls within the UI kit, like text field, sliders, switches and segment controller, and button labels, and web view, activity indicator, and date pickers, and table views, and collection views, and camera controls. We have a lot more controls, okay, where we are going to introduce in the app development. Okay, so let's see what exactly media services contains. Media services basically provides all the media related frameworks. So the one is AV Foundation Kit, which basically provides audio video related classes. So if you want to play the sound files, or if you want to play the any music, so we have to use this AV Foundation Kit classes. So AV means audio video. So based on this, we can play the audio and video, but it basically provides only sound, it does not display the videos. That means here it just plays sound, it won't display the video. So in order to display the video, so either we have to go for AV player, V controllers, or a media kit. So media kit provides some media related classes which can play the audio, and also it displays the video. And similar to this, AV kit provides some audio classes which are just like works as MP3 players. Okay, it is just to play the sound files, and where this sound file we can assign to any video player also. And also it provides AV recorder classes, and all the things, by using that we can record the videos and audio. So how do we need to play the sound files, how to pause it, play, stop, and all these kind of actions we are going to introduce. And also we will display the duration. So what is the duration of the play time, and what is the current duration, what is the remaining duration, like that. And once one song is finished, how do we need to start play the next song? So how do we need to continuously play the multiple media files? And also, so how do we need to run the application in the background mode for long time? Because when we use music apps, it must be running in the background for a long time. So running in the background means, okay, because many mobile applications will get suspend after 10 minutes, but how do we need to run more than 10 minutes, that is for long time? Because for the all music apps it must be running more than 10 minutes, and until user is going to stop, yes, we have to run it. And also this media services provide Quad Core and Assist library. Quad Core framework basically provides, okay, to set the layers and borders and all those things, and basically shadows and all those things we can create using the Quad Core framework. And the assets library basically provides assets library folder which maintains the all the assets of your application. Okay, so this is about media services. Another important service called core services. The core services provide a core foundation kit. Basically it contains all the core foundation kit classes which we use for data types. So in this we have foundation kit which provides the classes like NS classes. So the NS basically tells next step. Okay, so NS, what is NS? Next step. And all the NS classes are nothing but language classes. What are the language classes we use? Everything comes under foundation kit. And also the foundation kit provides some other classes like file manager classes in order to create the files and directories. And the core foundation kit classes we call data types. So if you want to hold the data, so we need to use the data types. So using the data types, okay, so we can hold and we can transfer the data from one screen to another screen like this. And it provides databases like plist or core data and SQLite. So data types means basically these are just to hold the data temporarily. While run the application only, the data types hold the data. So when we quit the app, the data won't be there. In order to store the data permanently, so we have to use some databases, so which stores the data within your app, within your device. And some of the application will compatible for offline access. So if you want to support for offline access, we must use the local databases which maintains the data within your device. For that we have databases. And how like your contacts app, okay, when we create the contacts it saves in your device, and that data cannot be used or accessed in other device. And now see, the core services also provides the map kit and core location services. It is also important because when you want to display the location and if you want to get the current user location services, we must need it. So how to display a particular location, and how to display some annotation indicators, and how to get current user address information and latitude and longitudes. So based on this, okay, we can easily track user locations. So this is how does the CAB system basically works. So when a user is at a location, we can easily get the current location, and we can also get the address information. So next, the core services also provides the web services. Basically, so we introduce the RESTful and RESTless and the SOAP services. So web services provides basically to interact with the server database. If you want to download the data or if you want to upload the data from server, so we have to use the web services. So in this we basically send request and we'll get it download and we'll parse. So we are going to use this some parsing technique called either XML or JSON. This is basically to convert the download data into your actual either Object-C or Swift dictionary or array formats. So when we have the our native data, so we can easily load, and how we are going to load on the screen wise, yes, we can load. So that's the use of the parsing techniques. To convert the download data into array or dictionary, we use parsers. Next we'll see the core OS. The core OS basically provides frameworks like a security framework and core Bluetooth and external accessory and accelerate framework. Security framework just to maintain the security for the device features, and the core Bluetooth if you want to implement the Bluetooth feature from your application, yes, we can do. External accessory basically provides some classes in order to identify any external device whether it is connected or not, like the headset or any card readers or any pharmacy equipments. Accelerate basically provides to support for the orientations of the device, like the tilt and all the geolocations and GPS related. Okay. So basically it just provides some classes in order to get the device features. Okay. So that is about the core OS.